Good morning, everyone. Boker Tov. I'm shopping in Publix, and sure enough, in the bakery section, they have plenty of kosher challah on Thursday morning, ready for Shabbat. Everyone knows what a challah is. It's a favorite Jewish food, and typically, specifically, eaten on Shabbat. But what is the origin? What is the source of the word challah? And it's actually fascinatingly found in this week's Torah portion. There is actually a mitzvah called challah. Yes, the challah we eat at the Shabbat table is a mitzvah in the Torah. But here's the irony. The Torah says when you come to the land of Israel, in order to show gratitude for the land that God has given you, when you bake your bread, you should take a portion of the bread, which is called challah, and give it to the Kohen as a gift to represent our gratitude to Hashem, since the Kohen is the representative of God. And this gift to the Kohen, this generosity, is called challah. But here's the irony. When we sit down to eat a challah, we actually are naming the loaf of bread on the piece of the bread that we don't have. It's the piece called the challah piece that we gave away as a gift to the Kohen to express our gratitude to God. So why is it that we're calling the loaf of bread a challah when the challah is not on the table? The challah is the portion exclusively that was given away to the Kohen. And the powerful lesson every time we eat a bite of challah is that what is the most important part of all of our activities, all of our endeavors? The most important part of our day, of our actions, of our resources is that portion that we performed a mitzvah with. That portion that we expressed gratitude with. That portion that we showed generosity and kindness with and shared with others. And therefore the message of challah is a all-encompassing message of life. It's a philosophy of life. Always focus on what's essential, what's important. Which section, which element of everything is the most important piece? It's the piece that represents our connection to God, the performance of a mitzvah. The piece that represents our gratitude for life, for the gifts of the land of Israel, and the piece that we shared with others. This lesson could not be more felt today as we're going through this horrific war with Iran. And Israel is sustaining and suffering so many injuries and even casualties, tragically. Our hearts are still filled with gratitude because we know that God is performing great miracles that will once and for all enable us to live in peace and security. And last night we witnessed this in the greatest possible measure. As you know, there was another ballistic attack last night, and there was a direct hit on the Soroka Hospital in Beersheba. Now, first of all, I'm waiting to see how many people are going to express outrage at Iran for targeting a hospital. When there was a false claim made in the beginning of the war that Israel targeted a hospital, everyone was shouting up in arms, how could Israel target a hospital? Turns out it wasn't Israel. It was Hamas terrorists shooting into Israel, and the missile backfired and struck the hospital. I want to see where all those people are today, yelling and protesting the fact that Iran targeted a hospital. But here's this miracle. Just yesterday afternoon, Wednesday afternoon, Soroka Hospital made a decision to evacuate the surgical unit because of fear that there may be a threat. And literally hours before the missile struck the surgical unit of Soroka Hospital, the entire unit had already been evacuated to another section of the hospital. And therefore there were no casualties, no injuries on that direct hit on a hospital. Why? Because God put into the mind of the staff, just hours before, maybe it's a good idea to evacuate the hospital. And therefore nobody was injured in that attack last night. This is a miracle. And therefore, even in the midst of war, in the midst of this terrible, terrible struggle, let us, like the mitzvah of challah, recognize the hand of Hashem, express our gratitude, and remember that our relationship with Hashem and the mitzvahs we perform is the most important element of our lives. Have a wonderful day.